Hi Aries, welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aries for April 2023. This is your new moon. This is your solar eclipse, and that means that this influence is going to be felt for the next 2 weeks to 6 months. So take some notes or refer back to this video um, after a while, I guess. Anyway, try and retain some of this information if you want to. Your theme is quite changeable. It's the Wheel of Fortune. So for the next 2 weeks to 6 months, you have a karmic energy, some destiny with the Wheel of Fortune. There's definitely a change of fortune. Um, Fortunate cycles or a change in cycle and some unexpected stuff. The Wheel of Fortune is sort of like the sky clock for me. It's cycles that just continue. And like the sun rises every day is a cycle, you can pretty much guarantee it. And if it doesn't, well, um, there's no need to worry, we won't be around anyway. So these are like the perpetuating cycles, and so they come around again. And when you're at the top, heading towards the bottom, and when you're at the bottom, you're heading towards the top, um, and anywhere in between. So the Wheel of Fortune also says that life is a gamble, right? So maybe you're taking a gamble in these next 2 weeks to 6 months. It's such a weird thing. But eclipses, right? We're starting an eclipse season. And yeah, that's what eclipses do. So get used to it, I guess. Anyway, let's have a look and see how this relates to at least minimum your next 2 weeks. And we have the Chariot card. New moons bring in new cycles, so the Chariot is a new cycle heading in your direction, which is really nice because it is about self-confidence. It's about steering your ship, right? Your vehicle, which is your physical body. And it's not the physical body that's steering things, it's your mental and emotional body that is connected to your higher self, to your super consciousness. And that's what leads the way, okay? So, two opposing forces that we reconcile. So this is the yoni, right? This is male, female. This is male, female, black and white. And each thing is interconnected with the other. So it's reconciling these two opposites and making them work well with each other, not opposing each other. So you see here that the two sphinxes are opposed each other. They're looking in different directions. And it's the job of the charioteer to take those two forces and point them in the direction that they want to go in. And that's how he moves the chariot, right? This is absolutely self-confidence, but it's also aligning yourself with something higher. Now, in the major arcana cards, 7 is sort of a peak, and they often say that it is the card or the number 7 is closest to God. And that's because of the reconciling of the two opposites. There is no good or bad, or if they are, they somehow connect with each other, and they are reconciled in the fact that one leads to the other, they're interconnected, right? Just like the yoni here. And you're finding that interconnectedness with the chariot card. Now, this can also be travel on a very mundane level, but the major arcana are always about the deeper meanings, right? Our inner life and how we grow internally. And this is a peak, definitely, Aries. Now, with the solar eclipse happening in your sign, it's no wonder that you're at a peak at the moment, right? Now, eclipses can do funny things, and especially this one because Yeah, there's some crazy stuff happening in your sign. So it is really important, I believe, to gather your forces and really stand firm in your belief. So it's really important for you to take these 2 weeks to understand what that is and to reconcile any differences. All right, let's see how this is playing out for you. Well, you have the King of Pentacles. This is a card that is, for me, associated with the sign Gemini. And this is a card of an individual who's mastered the material, the physical realm, right? And I would say that this person absolutely had to reconcile to get where he is, right? He has to reconcile those two opposing forces to get what he is, to create the wealth and the riches and to or his business or whatever it is that he had to do, right? Challenges and rewards. He had to look at them equally, right? One isn't better than the other. They both give experience and they teach you something, and you can take that experience on to the next project or whatever it is you're going to do after this particular one. The King of Pentacles makes small changes to create big ones. He is determined, he is patient, and he is diligent in what he does. And that just makes sense with the Chariot card. The Chariot card is associated with the sign Cancer. Cancer expects excellence, period. They're excellent at what they do, and they expect that from other people. And if they don't get it, they move on. And that's why it's very often that Cancers are considered the sign of singledom, of well, especially for men, because the women are very house proud. They like their house, their home, their children. They're very comfortable at home. What's the word I'm looking for? Men that are single. I'm sorry, I lost the word. It'll come to me. Forgive me. All right, so let's move on. All right, so how are you behaving? Well, you're close to your energy. You are behaving as the Queen of Cups. That is associated with Scorpio, and this is a very deep, intense energy. This is somebody who is dealing with their emotions, but they do it from the feeling standpoint as opposed to logic and reason. I mean, it's reasonable to them because they understand. It's a very in-depth sign, Scorpio. They deep dive. There's really nothing. Wow, it must be it must be Mercury in retrograde because I'm losing my words. That's annoying. All right, let's go on here. It'll come to me. Everything will come. Seven of Cups with that has some confusion with it, for sure. Yeah. There could be choices that you are offered or that you are dealing with here, and these are the big choices. These are things that, okay, so this makes a lot of sense for me because she's somebody who deals with the heart, the emotional side of things, and looks very deeply into the emotional side of life. And the Seven of Cups is the card of the seven planets offering you something. Each planet has something to offer you, right? 7 cups, 7 planets. And it's kind of up to you to figure out what it is that you will take from this. You can only choose one. And this card often says, what does the heart want? But there can be confusion in those choices. And so she's really doing a deep dive to decide what that is, to figure out what that actually is. we will get more on this. Those words still aren't coming to me. Um, okay, so as a result, you have the Hierophant and the Emperor. All right. The Hierophant is organizations, big organizations, small organizations, but organizations just the same. Um, Institutes, schools, hospitals, the government, any institute, small or large. The Hierophant wants you to ask permission. So this can be filling out forms, that kind of thing, red tape, standing in line, the DMV, God forbid. Kidding. But that kind of thing. So we ask permission, we may or may not get it. The 5 for me is always about change. Mind you, you have 2 sevens here. And 5 is instability, and it is about change. So it's like, well, we can change rules on you anytime we want to, or it's that kind of energy. But in this position, for me, it's always that you are not being allowed to go forward at this time. It's my no card. And this can just be quite a temporary thing. And it's almost like you're waiting to get permission to go ahead, but first you have to jump through some hoops, right? First you have to fill out these forms. First you have to finish this initiation. It's that kind of energy. With the Emperor card, though, it can be through your boss. It can be through people who are higher ups. This could absolutely be government with the Emperor and the Hierophant. So leaders, big leaders, for sure, that could be in the mix here as well. The Emperor is associated with Aries, so you have a close association to that. And it's a leader, the leadership qualities of an emperor. It is creating strong foundations. And so it's very possible that to create this strong foundation, there are a lot of things you have to do first with that Hierophant card. So it's like checks and balances a little bit with the Hierophant. It's not always negative because you want to make sure that your foundation is built properly. And the Hierophant will make you jump through the hoops. They'll make you initiate so that you know an initiation is like, this is what you're going to go through in the outside world. We're going to do a little mock-up of it here. And if you can deal with it, you know, your foundation is nice and strong. It's that kind of energy. But those keys on the bottom of the card are really calling out to me. So there can be some key people, probably somebody in high office, the boss, the CEO, that kind of energy, or government officials, or just officials, people in high places, high-ranking people, who may hold the key for something that's going on here with the Chariot. Okay? We're going to pull this all together. Now, it feels to me like with the Wheel of Fortune there's something that you want to gamble on here, something you're going to give a try. You don't know how it's going to go. And in fact, you might even be a little bit confused as to how to get it going. And so you could consult a King of Pentacles, somebody who's already done it, who knows, who's mastered it. You may be consulting this type of person, because you are behaving as the queen. So you're doing the deep dive, but these people have already done it. Now, this could be schools, so there could be classes, workshops, that sort of thing that you're going to take that will offer you more self-confidence, get you in the know, and help you to drive your chariot to wherever it is that you want to go. But that Hierophant for me feels like it's holding the key. There's something there that you will engage with that really holds the key for you. And it's probably what's underneath this cloth right here. The mystery cup. And it's a mystery because you don't know. You don't know it yet. But the Hierophant and the Emperor are definitely somebody who can tell you how. But first you have to pay the dues, right? With the Hierophant, you have to pay your dues. You have to go through that initiation. You have to learn stuff. You have to go through school. You have to figure it out. All right, let's see what's going on here. Bachelor. That's the word I'm using here. Why many Cancer men are bachelors. Thank you. Maybe the other one will come to me. I don't even remember what I was thinking about, so it probably won't. But Bachelor card, the Chariot. Well, Cancer anyway. And the King of Pentacles is somebody who's so sucked into their work as well that it's very often they don't have time for a relationship, or it's secondary. Okay, Five of Pentacles. These are challenges that we go through together. Helping each other out through difficult times. This can be on a financial level. It's very possible because it's the King of Pentacles, and he would be the person who would have some financial knowledge for sure. But again, we have two fives. And 5 is instability that really pushes you to find that balance, to find that that situation that's going to hold up and balance the foundation that you've built. Okay, foundation's going to be 4 with the Emperor. But 5 is something that, 5 is like the roller coaster ride, right? It's changeable, and everything changes. And once you solidify a foundation, you have to be aware that things are constantly changing. That's the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's constantly spinning. And so you can have a strong foundation, but something or someone can come along. And let's just say, for example, that it's the government with the Hierophant, and they start changing rules and laws and financial systems and, whatever. And you have to be kind of on your toes for those changes, okay? That's an example, but, I mean, things are happening, so it's very possible that that's something that you're going to have to deal with. Well, we're all going to have to, but it's coming up in your reading, so. The nice thing with the Chariot card is, though, that you're kind of ready. Because if you look at this, he's wearing sort of armor, and certainly this person is. And armor is ready for battle, right? A protective barrier. For the mysteries, for things that we don't know what's going to happen, for chance, right? The Wheel of Fortune, it's a gamble. I don't know what's going to happen. So I will have to be prepared for anything. So these are challenges that we go through together. Now this can be financial, or it can be health, or it can be both. But it is certainly people, and I'm not saying this is you because I don't know that for sure. It's the scenario. It's the new situation that's coming in, right? The Five of Pentacles is saying that this is something that we do together. Challenges that we face together. But this collective consciousness is definitely, when this card shows up, in the energy of lack. And we need to find that something to stabilize it. Okay. Okay, you have the moon. Yeah, that's confusion. That's some more confusion. The moon, so this is going to be probably an important moon for you, as well as eclipse for sure. But the moon is things that just are kind of weird right now. There's this feeling of things being out of the norm, strange, stranger than fiction. The moon. It is associated with the sign Pisces, and Pisces likes mystery. They thrive on that stuff. I know I do. And the mysterious and the mystery. These are fears that can come up, right? So I do feel like there's going to be an emotional period for you here. With the Queen of Cups and the Moon, first of all, your intuitive and psychic powers will be heightened, and it's very possible because you need them to be. But still, waters run deep with the Queen of Cups. And so it is about quieting your mind so that the information can rise. Water is a factor here with you, and water holds memory. Water is information. And that's what I mean by quieting the mind, and the waters of your physical, emotional, mental bodies will give rise to ideas, inspirations, maybe truths with the psychic. But what you're doing is you're feeling things out, right? You're feeling them out. You can't really bring a lot of logic to this situation, probably because it's not clear yet. So you're kind of feeling your way through the situation at the moment with the moon. Fears can come up with the moon. Deep subconscious fears, things that we were not aware that we were even afraid of, can come up. And to look at them in the face is to dissipate the shadow, right? When you shine a light on it directly from above, there is no shadow, right? You're just seeing it for what it is. So you're not looking at the shadow side of it. You're just seeing it in its reality. And that you can work with. Fears you cannot, because you have not proven that that's there yet. So you're just trying to look at facts, but you're feeling your way, especially with the moon and the Queen of Cups. I mean, she's psychic, and the moon is intuitive. Now, it can also be that your deep subconscious is trying to tell you something. And you may not be able to figure that out because the Seven of Cups is a little bit like, what is it? I can't put my finger on it, but I have that feeling. I do want to pull one more card for that. Okay, well, this could involve a Sagittarius. So this may be somebody who's going through some psychological things. But it can also be a new adventure, because the Page of Wands expands their mind. And that's exactly what's happening with the moon and the Queen of Cups. There's an expansion there, and it's not necessarily mental in this case. It's more of an expanded feeling about something. Do not dismiss it, though. It's those times where you're like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. I could just feel it, and you didn't listen or you didn't pay attention, and later you were just like, why didn't I listen? It's that kind of energy. So really pay attention to that. For some people, they might be wanting to study something, because the Page of Wands is my student card. It's associated with Sagittarius, so fiery, young, adventurous energy. Also, something that was cut off may grow back for some of you. Okay. Partnerships. Partnerships. You might be partnering up with a organization of some sort, and you could be talking to the emperor, the boss. You may be partnering up, or you may be becoming a partner of a organization. But there's definitely partnership where the Two of Cups is concerned. And the Two of Cups is that heart's desire that is found or mirrored in somebody else. And it could be very much an opposite energy of yours. But the desires are similar. So you being the Queen of Cups, partnering up with an Emperor, that is water and fire, right? She's water, that's Aries, so that's fire. Two very opposite energies. But they both have the same desire. They both have the same, sorry about that. They both have the same desire for something that matches, right? And so they're a good partner. And maybe one has the business know-how, where the other one has the creative abilities, the creative factors, or the intuitive factors for that matter. And it's a match. They can make something happen. Nice, I like it. Very nice. On a romantic level, there could be marriage. The Hierophant is marriage. The king, the Emperor is the man. He's absolutely the man, the quintessential man, right? He's good looking. He's stable. He's a provider. He's got his foundations nice and set. He knows who he is. He knows where he's going. And that makes for a good relationship. So if you are a Queen of Cups, you could meet somebody that will be very instrumental in your work or romantic, emotional life. Very, very possible. And it could come through a new adventure, maybe a travel or something when the Page of Wands is in your reading here. Because he's absolutely somebody who's in a different terrain. He's in a different, he's all about new adventure. And it does feel to me like maybe you're moving into something that is new for you, and so there's some insecurities behind it, not sure how. But the Emperor and the King of Pentacles are definitely somebody who can give you good advice, good solid advice. But there's definitely partnerships in the making here. Now remember, the Hierophant is my no card, so maybe no to immediately, right? It could be towards the end of the year where Page of Wands is concerned, because it's Sagittarius, so that's December. So let's see, we're 6 months. We are in April, October, November. December's a little bit far away, but it still could be further away, the Hierophant says. Maybe just not yet. First you have to take this class, or you have to learn this particular thing. But when the Two of Cups and the Hierophant comes out, and the Emperor, maybe there's marriage. So there could be a proposal for some people. And it doesn't even have to be a romantic proposal. It can be a business proposal. You may be asking for a loan. You may be looking for a business partner. It's that kind of energy. For everybody, it's different. General reading, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. All right, so let's see what Spirit wants you to know. I think this is very good, and it seems to get you going. Where you kind of feel a little bit like, where do I go from here with the Moon and the Seven of Cups, that kind of confusion. The Chariot card is helping to point those kind of unruly or scattered thoughts, focusing them in the direction that they want to go. And the Hierophant and the Emperor kind of start to solidify it. So what does Spirit want you to know? Goodness. You have the Two of Cups. Same as this. Partnerships. Now, for you, you could have some distrust in the partnership, right? Because of the confusion and the moon, and I don't see it quite clearly 100%. So this could cause a little bit of tension with that Seven of Cups and the Page of Wands, because I think the Page of Wands is fiery, right? And they can get a little tense. Could cause imbalance. But on either side, flanking you, you have some very strong uh, people and characters and cards and organizations that can support you and help you through it. That looks really good. Looks really good. And I'm sure as we move into this 6 month period, we can hone in on those little things a little bit more. This is giving you absolutely the beginning of it, but it looks really, really positive. It looks really good. You may have to jump through some hoops, or, you know, you absolutely have to go through a few things with the Hierophant card, even if it's just filling out forms or taxes and that kind of nonsense. Um, but you'll get there, and you have people who can help you. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I think it's good. I think it's complete. I'm doing dailies. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a full moon reading. I hope this has been helpful. Take good care. Bye.